It's a real thing.
We're so high tech.
Here we are.
Here we are.
The Homebrew Guys here on
Oh
YouTube.
man. You saw that visual display. That was incredible.
Just amazing animation done by yours truly.
The cross dissolve into the dip to black was my favorite part.
You know, I only take lessons from the greats, which happens to be you. This is Man-Made Mead
Hey.
from YouTube. I'm BC, but I'm from Doing the Most. And this is the Homebrew Guys podcast. This is, technically it's episode 0.
Yeah. That's a start.
But we're calling it episode 1 because it really throws off my accounting to have an episode 0 hanging out there. We've got a live audience tonight.
We do have a live audience, and they're waving.
They're gonna. There's one. They're shy, apparently. Despite all the conversation that happened before the camera started. And shout out to everybody who's here in the chat. Looks like we've got 21 viewers so far. So this is your call to action to go hit the like button.
Yep.
Subscribe to both of our channels.
Yeah.
Just a little shameless self-promotion. And jump on your social media accounts, share the link to this, get other people in here watching.
Yeah.
Because I know this is like a new experimental thing. Do you have anything you want to...
Well, I was going to add to that. If you are watching, listening from Oklahoma City, this is a live show, which is something fun. So
it's a live show.
You could be a part of the woos in the background.
You literally can come down here right now.
Yeah. So
we're at Elk Valley Brewing Company. Big thank you to Elk Valley Brewing Company for supporting us, supporting the podcast, supporting Mead Stampede this year.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We were here just
and they also make good beer. So there's that too.
Win.
Win. I'm having I believe they called it the High, thank God there's a brewer here. The High Plains IPA? Okay. The name of this beer, it's IPA, High Plains? Head pains?
Head pains. Yes. You get enough of them, and you'll get a...
It's friggin' bomb. So, and then...
It's extremely good.
It's extremely good.
That we did with Rainbows Are Free from, technically from Norman, but they're OKC Norman. It's like a stoner rock band that split.
So it's a collab they did with a stoner rock band.
Oh.
For those...
The title of their latest record when we came out with the beer was Head Pains.
Okay, the title of the latest record is Head Pains.
I'm going to find the actual...
That's cool.
The album cover versus the beer cover.
It's hella good.
It is
That's
good.
what you need to know, is it's hella good. So come down here to Elk Valley Brewing Company. You've got about 72 minutes to get down here and say hi to us. I understand Garrett's got a tab open, so you can...
Yep. If you can guess my last name, you got it. Good luck.
They didn't even ask mine up front. It's on the house, I guess. So yeah, we've got a big show planned tonight. We've got a live audience out here. We're going to talk through some brewing news that's coming up. We've been scouring the internet for social media posts.
I'm like a news reporter right now. I like the way with the papers, like, and I'm shuffling, like.
I need you in like a suit with like a real big collar next time. If you could just like Ron Burgundy.
Just goes all the way. Next time.
Yeah. So anything else you want to say before we like jump into it?
No, I'm excited to get to chat. And BC, I'll say, he has been the one to kind of create the show. And as you're going to see tonight, it's a really, just seeing behind the scenes and knowing what's going to go on, because I'm part of it, we got a lot of fun stuff. So I say we jump into it.
All right, let's jump into it. First, let's take a look at...
Sorry.
So that's the actual album cover, and that's the beer.
Oh, legit.
So Matt Goad actually...
I don't know if y'all can
It's
see
gonna
this.
You're going to get blurry. You're going to get...
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Or in the description.
Or I can get closer if you want me to.
It's probably...
I'll have to
it's
refocus.
zoomed
Yeah.
in. It's badass.
It's badass.
We'll just say that. So let's... Tiger Pat is in the chat. Timmy McIntyre.
Adept
Nonsense. Adept Nonsense is a rival dad of mine.
A rival dad?
Yeah, just
what does
know
that
mean? You know, like there's like an unspoken dad Olympics that's just always happening. He and I are competing in that.
Yeah, what was the most recent event? Can you describe it?
It was washing barf out of onesie.
And who won?
I did. I used a washboard. You know, secret techniques.
Wow.
Buffalo Joe, Texas Longhouse Mead. If you haven't seen Texas Longhouse Mead's channel, you should check that out.
Yep.
He's doing some great content over there, and he's been posting more recently. And Nathan McVeigh, shout out. Let me get my...
reminders out of the way.
Garrett always makes fun of my reminders. That one was a reminder to email Gavin over at the Cheese Channel. I don't remember what it's called. It's Gavin Weber. He says, "G'day, kid, Neds." He's from like Australia, makes cheese. Gavin and I are going to do a collab.
Check him out.
He's got like 500,000 subscribers.
Oh,
so
man. That's wild.
he's eclipsing us at this point. That's for damn sure. Shout out to Yeast and the Beast. All right, you ready to jump into some news?
Yeah, I think this first set of news, we need like a little beep, beep, beep thing.
Beep, beep,
Yeah,
beep, beep,
one of those.
beep, beep, beep.
First set of news, in the brews news.
In the
I
brews
feel like
news.
it's probably best approached by you, as I would consider you more of a yeast.
Yeah, so there's
Nowhere
some
than me.
new thiolized yeasts out there. So to really kind of dumb this down, there's this compound
Uh-huh.
that a yeast can convert to make like fruity flavors.
Yep.
It's great for IPAs, any IPAs, things like that, where you really want like some big grapefruity, pithy, citrusy, pineapple-y flavors. And so Omega has done this thing where they've been genetically modifying yeast to create these things that can take those precursors and turn them into those flavors.
Yep.
Okay. So they're just going in and GMOing these yeast, and they're selecting yeast that also have complementary characters. So they've got two new ones out. One is called Heliogazer, and are you familiar with Cosmic Punch?
Yes.
Their
Yes,
yeast
yes.
that converts these thiol precursors.
Yes.
This one is 20 times more effective than Cosmic Punch. So I'm like super hype to get a hold of this. I texted the brew shop here in Oklahoma City. They said they can get it to me in the next 3 months.
We used, what was it, Bonanza and Sundew. Well, I think that was the last time I messed around with genetically modified
Yeah.
yeast.
Well, the other one is called Lunar Crush, and it's a lager strain. So same idea, but for creating like crisp, refreshing, fruity lagers.
Okay.
So super hype about these new thiolized yeasts. I don't know. I think it's cool. I know
That is
people
cool.
get like weird about genetically modified organisms,
yeah.
but the fact that Omega is taking these yeasts that do cool things already, and they're like removing phenolic genes and adding in thiolizing genes, like I don't know. It's like taking
But
homebrewing to the next level.
There's still a lot of people out there that think that yeast are yeast and that whatever you use doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
That is a tragic.
Well, believe it or not, every yeast has its
I
own
thought you were going to
character.
say someone in the comments. Someone in the comments has said.
I won't name names, but yeah, no, I think it's really cool that Omega's like leading the charge on this. They're using CRISPR-Cas9 to do this modification. Apparently, they can't sell them outside of the country because of like GMO laws in other
Oh.
countries.
That's wild.
So they're unique to us. I'm sure Elk Valley will be using them anytime soon. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
The unfortunate thing is, and I've tried Cosmic Punch in mead, it doesn't really do that big fruity thing without the malt and the hops in there.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately, they don't really apply so much to your home brewing.
Although in my
do a braggot.
my yeast test I did though, I think Sundew was one of the highest rated,
Yeah.
and it was because it did bring out some fruitiness in there, which was interesting. So
Let's move along.
I got the next one, and I'll need your help with this one because this one is hard to wrap my head around because it's a brewing beer simulator.
Yeah.
As I was reading this one's a little bit odd. So this is in Bristol, and it says brewmasters invite gamers to discover the ultimate celebration of craft beer and master the art of homebrewing. So I'm trying to figure out. I can't wrap my head around this right here.
It's a video game.
But there's a tasting side they talk about that doesn't make any sense to me.
And that's what's so great is that this
So people are just getting wasted.
more
in a
brewery in Bristol is going to make the beer so you can actually taste the beer that you made in the video game.
This seems like didn't McDonald's do a thing a couple years ago where you could create whatever you wanted,
So
and it was like people made like 7 stacks of lettuce on a bun. Like that's what's going to happen with this.
Science class for make like an element. So it's almost like doing that.
Yeah. So for those of you who couldn't
Is
hear,
it? Yeah.
it's like science class. You throw some spaghetti at the wall and you see what sticks.
Maybe it'll work. But
So-
I also think that there are a lot of people.
This company reached out to me and sent me some Steam keys for this game, and I gave them to my Discord admins because I didn't want to play it.
Like, go crazy. Let's see what you can make.
I don't know. It's a homebrewing video game.
I mean, it's cool.
I agree with you. It's weird to play a game where you're making a beer that you don't get to drink.
It's
at
like
the
a
other
lot
end.
like the lawnmower simulator games. Have you ever seen those where you're like, your lawn outside is terrible and you probably should mow it, but instead people get on the video game and then mow a fake lawn, and you're like,
Or like tractor simulator.
yeah. I mean,
I don't know, man. I guess we should like give it the benefit of the doubt and play it, but the game itself does feel a little bit like a gimmick. But maybe there's
No.
also like room for you to contract like a programmer and do a mead version of this game.
maybe so.
There's probably
Am
not
I
one
gonna
on
have to make the
Steam yet.
meads?
Yeah.
Because that'll get real dangerous real fast. Someone is maniacal right now planning something.
Dun,
Clam,
dun, dun.
clam chowder mead right now. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one. We have, this one is interesting. We were talking about this beforehand too. So this says, that the headline of this is, couple arrested in Croatia for over $1.6 million wine heist.
Yeah.
So I guess it's pretty wild. So police arrested a couple who stole 45 bottles of wine, and I love the backstory of how they did it. They were like, one of the was it the woman or the man?
I think the woman distracted them.
Yeah, and then the man like snuck in the back, the wherever, and stole a bunch of wine in bags and stuff.
Yeah,
and
like put it in like a duffel bag.
Yeah, and then they made which kudos to him for he got 45 bottles for 1.6 million. He must have known his wine. He must have known what he was going for.
Maybe it's, I wonder if they've looked for like sommeliers,
Oh,
restaurateurs.
I bet there's going to be like 30 people arrested by the end of this. There's going to be like,
Oh, it's like a big conspiracy.
yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a wine exchange.
But what's fun is the couple's been arrested, but the wine
Bring your own wine.
is still missing. So
Yeah, the wine is still missing. So they went like jet setting all across Europe, and I guess the woman was like she was like a beauty queen or something
yeah, it
too.
says- yeah,
It's like a
she was
weird
a former beauty queen.
like spin-off of Ocean's 11 meets Miss Congeniality.
That was, yeah. So if you
Weird,
see
man.
any bottles of wine that look stolen,
Yeah.
and you're in Spain
Get out there,
or
check
Croatia, sorry.
check eBay. If you see, sort sort by price and report them to Interpol, we can stop these guys once and for all. Okay,
All right, you got this next one.
It's so
'cause This
absurd.
feels right up your alley. You
right
are
up my alley.
arguably one of the more hop-head people that I know. At
I like
least.
hops. I mean, I think we're both drinking IPAs tonight.
Well, yeah, but you have more experience with hops.
That's true. That's true. I planted some in my yard and they didn't grow. So
You were very unhappy.
the audience has better jokes than we do tonight.
They came prepared. They came prepared.
They can't hear us.
No, we'll get a mic next
man.
time for them.
So yeah, the 2022 hops report is out. This is from Yakima Valley, which I think is super cool that they like publish this information publicly, so you can get an idea of what's going on in the world of hops. And I guess the harvest is actually getting started this week and next week in the Pacific Northwest. So they'll start harvesting the hops. That means like the time for whole cone hops fresh is within the next month because they're going to get pelletized after that. So talk to your homebrew shops about whether or not you can get whole cone in right now. So interesting things about the hops report is the planting is down this year. They're down, not much, they're down about 1,000 acres from last year.
That's a lot of hops, though.
It is a lot of hops. And their expected yield this year is nearly 2,000 pounds per acre. So it's up not much, it's up about 22 pounds an acre from last year. But so I guess planting is down, but yield is up. So they kind of level out.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I thought what was most interesting about the hops report this year was that they have the top 5 hops planted by acreage,
Ah.
which I think is
We can assume then is the most used,
the most
obviously,
popular
and
in
used.
breweries
Yes,
around
yeah.
around the country. So number 5 was CTZ, which is one I've never worked with.
Nope.
Number 4, Simcoe.
Use that. Yeah.
Cascade, number 3, Mosaic, very popular,
I've
number
used
2.
Mosaic before.
The number 1 hop grown this year, my favorite, Citra.
Yeah. By itself, in your most recent hopped mead,
Mm-hmm.
kind of video, that was I think the highest scoring.
Yeah, it
By
was.
itself.
It was the top scoring for hopped hydromel, just session mead. And so, yeah, Citra, very popular. Presumably it's being used in the brewery here. Presumably. Yeah,
That's secret knowledge. We
so
can't-
whole cone hops should be available soon from the Pacific Northwest Hop Harvest. Very cool.
This is a wild stat to me. The production for 2022 is estimated to be about 115,259,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hops. I mean, that's just wild
I mean,
to me.
that's train
Especially when you
of
like you
hops.
buy hops in their 1 ounce in that little bag, and you're like, man, this is a lot of hops. It goes a long way. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
I've got in my freezer, I've got probably 2 pounds of hops. I'm feeling like I need to do like a freezer dump 10-gallon IPA batch and just put them all in. Maybe I'll throw a big handful in the mash and use this new yeast and turn them all into fruity flavors. or
Super
something.
experiment.
But yeah, I've got I don't know. I did was it a year ago? I did that IPA where I put a pound of hops into it.
I think so. Yeah, I remember you doing that.
It tasted just like hops.
Surprisingly, it had a really hoppy taste.
No other flavors beyond that.
Oh man.
Pretty intense. Anyway, I think it's really cool. You should check it out. Once the show is done this evening or tomorrow, we'll put links to all these stories in the description.
Yep.
So you can check them out. But yeah, the Yakima Valley, this is like the highlights version of the hops report. It's long.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's a full page of.
I'm sure they have like a top. Do they have more than top 5? Do
I think
go
they
further?
don't. Well, I only saw top 5 on there.
Okay.
There might be like a breakout report,
Maybe
but
so.
it's like infographics and photos, and I mean it's legit. And I
Interesting.
think it's cool that they make that information freely available for folks. Yakima Valley also does some pretty good hops.
They do.
Like,
Yeah.
I do see that Yeast and the Beast in the chat is saying that Citra has turned a little catty
Caddy.
over the past couple of years.
That makes me think like cat pee.
Cat
like,
piss, yeah. Maybe it's your
I
beer,
don't feel
man.
like. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't noticed that, but I don't make as much beer as Yeast and the Beast does, so I guess I have to defer to his expertise. So what's brewing? What do you got coming up on your channel? That's the title of the segment. What's
Well,
brewing?
what's fun is tomorrow or I guess not tomorrow, Monday, I have a collab with the Brew Show. So he's a friend of our channels, and
Shout out to Trent Musho.
yeah, he does super quality content, like well-produced content, beer,
Mm-hmm.
mainly beer brewing.
Beer and
But
cider.
One fun fact about him is he's vegan. So
Yeah.
and when he reached out and said, "Hey, I want to do a collab," I was like, "That's cool." He said, "I can't use real honey." Okay, well that puts a real damper on making mead. But apparently, the people are finding alternatives. Mm-hmm. And one of those is this group called Unhoney, and it's like
Yeah.
some of them are like one was like coconut nectar based, and then they'd like try to emulate what honey tastes like, and they have different varietals. So they had one that's like light and floral, and one that's like dark and whatever. Anyways, he shipped me a bunch, and we
You couldn't find it here, right?
I couldn't. Well, not for a fair price. I think he's in.
What's
he's
a fair
in-
price?
I don't know. In California, it's much cheaper. It must be better.
More
Anyway,
vegans.
Yeah, more vegans.
We like our steak out here.
So he sent me some. We ended up doing a collab where I made a lemon mead, and he made a blueberry mead. And the intent, mead, quotes around that, the intent was to be able to, one, for them to taste good by themselves, but then blend them to make a better product.
Okay.
And so that will be out on Monday. That's my most recent. But my other one I'm excited about that will not be out soon, just because of timing, is a pina colada mead that I feel like I've.
Don't you have a
landed on.
sample of that?
I
here
do have a
tonight?
sample of that. Uh huh.
And we're in the brewery side,
in the
so
brewery.
we can open bottles back here.
We can. Yes, we can.
I got magic
Oh.
juice right here.
Oh,
Hops, so
Is that a drink or is that just the name?
it's magic juice.
IPA, right?
Yep. It's
Okay.
a New England double hazy.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna have Mosaic, Idaho 7, and Comet
Oh.
hops in it. So you have a really good hop blend. It's hazy. It's delicious. It's one of our flagships.
Thank you. Cascade was number 3 on the Hops Report list of
Oh, that's good.
It's a pretty good combo.
Yeah.
I think I had this the last time I was here, and it's like, I mean, it's like drinking juice. I mean, it goes down smooth, but it's got that like
It's juicy.
grapefruity, pithy. Where's my sip and savor deck? That's in there, I think.
What are you brewing? What's in your world for this next
Oh
week?
man! So one video, it'll probably be out. So I did something different than I normally do with kegged beer. Instead of force carbing it, I added priming sugar to the keg, and so
Okay.
when I did that, I wasn't thinking about my video release schedule and the fact that that was going to take a month. So whoops. So that's carbonating right now, but it's a. So I have my braggot recipe called the Wampus Cat.
Yeah.
Right? Very popular on the internet. You've probably heard of it. A subscriber like a year ago emailed me and said, what if we turned it into a graph? Like, what if we made it a cider braggot? So it'd be
Okay.
cider and beer and mead all as one.
Yeah.
Then this dude just like went off on his own and did it. Then he comes back to me with this process that blew my mind where he used apple juice in the mash, but he had to add this stuff to it to change the pH so it would mash
Oh, yeah,
properly.
okay.
And then he had to add something else to it to bring the pH back so it tasted like apple juice.
Oh.
And it was a really interesting exchange. And at the end of it, I said, why didn't you just mash with water and then add apple juice, like canned apple juice concentrate from the freezer section? And he said, that's why you're doing the most. I would have never thought of that. So I said, I tell you what, I'm going to brew my version of that.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a video on the channel. So
Okay.
I brewed it up. It tastes good pre-carbonated. We'll see
Yeah.
how it tastes afterward. But
And bay leaves.
Oh, interesting.
Black
Was this here last
peppercorn.
time we were here? Like a month ago?
Yeah, but I was working for
Black peppercorn, black tea leaves, bay leaves,
Okay, yeah.
and
it. And rosemary.
rosemary.
And a 13% mead.
So for those of
Oh.
you who, whoa. For those of you who don't know, Elk Valley Brewing Company has mead on tap right now. So you can come down, again, we'll be here for another 45 minutes to an hour. You can come down and say hi
Yeah.
and get yourself some mead.
We have bottle channel.
And they have bottles.
They do. Yeah, they have lots of stuff. So, I've never used rosemary.
It smells super good.
Uh huh.
Like I almost want like a cologne that smells like this.
Oh yeah. The blend of them is really interesting.
Whoa.
I've never thought like black peppercorn, rosemary.
That
That's like rich.
Is a lot of flavors.
There's a lot of flavor.
It's a little bit sweeter than I typically like my meads, but I
I
think
feel
the
like-
sweetness balances out that herbal
I was gonna
character
say,
really
I feel
well.
like most of the time with like methaglins, you have to really make them a little bit sweeter to make them fit. Like a dry methaglin to me is just, it's like you're chewing on the spice, like chewing on a cinnamon stick, and that's just like not enjoyable.
Carolyn says, I can confirm that California store shelves are stocked with plenty of honey.
Trent probably got it for like 3 cents a pound.
I wonder if that's because it doesn't really move. Plus, California's like flush with honey out there. All the orchards and everything, all the agriculture, they got honey everywhere.
He's
out
missing
there.
out. That's what I know. He is missing out.
Yeah, in year one, I invited Trent to participate in the Great Mead Project, and he gave me a hard no because of the vegan thing. See, now he could have done it without honey.
Yeah. I mean,
If
we'll
only
get
we
him,
had
we'll get him
known.
next year. Now that there's alternative options for him.
Will asks if we would ever stock our mead somewhere. You gonna start a meatery? There's plenty of real estate all the way up the street up here.
You know, I think there's penultimate plans to like do something big, but it's all about timing and then planning. Timing and planning is all
If
it is.
you've got $150,000 you would like to invest in a new business
You got money to burn, just shut up.
and real estate with a floor drain and finished floors, hit us up.
In Oklahoma City, sorry. did we
Yeah,
mention
in
that?
Oklahoma City. Jeez.
Someone's gonna be like, I got stuff in Detroit right now.
All right. Do you want to move on to this month in brewing?
I mean, sure, let's do it.
At some point, we got to get some theme songs for these segments. So it's like.
Yeah, can you design some? Okay.
That's what I got.
Next
That's the
month.
theme song. So somebody
it
out there.
probably will be your voice doing that. Just we'll
It's
clip
auto-tuned.
you.
So
We'll just clip you.
this segment, we decided that we would go around the internet, your internet, and pull posts that we thought were
That felt
interesting.
aggressive.
Well, I want
Not
to
my
let them know,
internet,
like we're,
your
we're
internet.
coming after your internet, the places you hang out. Facebook, homebrewtalk.com, winemakingtalk.com, Reddit.
Winemakingtalk.com.
I used to go there all the time when
Is
I
that
started.
still a thing?
Yeah, it's still there. No one posts on it, but it's still there. Shout out to Winemaking Talk. They got me started.
Oh.
I've got old posts there I can't figure out how to delete. So
Sounds like you don't want to be on it.
shout out to Winemaking Talk for still existing. So let's start. So yeah, basically these are things we found from around the web that we thought were interesting or cool or fun or awful. There's one awful one on here. And we're going to show off what you guys have been doing on the internet. So I'm so glad that we have a brewer back here with us tonight.
Oh, yeah.
He's currently not listening. But
Yeah. We'll explain this scenario.
we'll explain the scenario. We're going to need your input in a second.
Yeah.
No, you're okay. So this first one was from r/homebrewing. And the question that was posed to r/homebrewing was, what do you do if you're at a microbrewery and you taste an off flavor?
You let them know so they can take it off tap. If it's miscolored or off flavored, you need to know, especially if it's like a core beer and they know what it tastes like. I had this discussion today.
Here, you should come around here and talk into my microphone.
Here, hold on. I got you.
He's in the low greens when he's talking.
Here you go. You just talk.
All right. So if you're at a brewery and you've tasted the beer before, and you know what it's supposed to taste like because that's your favorite beer, and then that's an off flavor, off color, off something, you need to let them know so they can correct it immediately. Like yesterday, I poured a blonde ale that was cloudy because the keg got shooken up and it had sediment in the bottom. So I had to switch it to another keg to make sure it was right and clean the line. But I noticed it before the customer did, just because I'm doing my job. But if there's something off, especially with flavor, because we switch kegs and stuff like that, you never know. It could be sitting in room temp or anything. Beer is a living organism. It changes. Temperature, environment, elevation, everything changes it.
Even the lines, something could happen in the beer lines.
Anything can happen with the beer line. I clean the beer lines once a month with the acid wash and everything. But like, you have to be on top of it and pay attention to the color, the flavor, everything. But we need your input too to make sure we're on point for quality control.
Okay, so now you have the professional answer.
Yeah.
Circling back to my question to you before we started it, thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
What would you do? It sounds like the pressure's on for you to approach the counter.
I don't.
I would rather hear about it and pull it than serve it wrong.
Yeah, he says he'd rather hear about it and pull it than serve it wrong.
Maybe it's my.
It's quality control.
It's quality control.
Don't swerve. Don't serve a bad beer.
Now
Don't
the
serve a bad
question
beer.
is it?
What
is
would
it,
you do? I want the chat to tell us what you would do in this circumstance.
I guess I've been on the internet too long, and there's so many people that think they know what they're talking about and have no idea. And so I'm going from the perspective of like, if someone comes up and they know, they have terminology, they have something that says, like, I know what I'm talking about. Do you take it more seriously, or is it a situation where like, if somebody comes up and is like, this beer tastes weird, I
coming
don't
back.
know.
He's coming back.
Yeah, I guess I have to come back.
I love it.
That's a great question, though. If I said, I'm a home brewer, and I'm picking up a little Band-Aid in here, how do you feel about it?
I take it very seriously.
Yeah?
Because I agree with you, and I'll taste it. And if something's off, it's off. You know, but the thing is, I can't sit here and drink every beer all day because I have to serve it, and it's technically illegal for me to drink beer all day.
No, it's not. What do you mean?
Like when I'm clocked in behind the bar.
You're on the record here.
But No, I agree, because I've actually had that actual exact thing. Like with something that went off is at the bottom of a keg, and they said it tastes like a Band-Aid. I tasted it, I go, I totally agree. I pulled the keg and take it off. Put something new on, clean the line, put something new on. But I need that input too. We need that input. I don't want anyone drinking a bad beer. Just bring it up, because we will replace it with something better and correct this issue.
Yeah.
But we have to know, because if we don't know, we can't fix it.
Yeah, we've got, go ahead. We've got, thank you. We've got a commenter that says, I would drink it and pretend it tasted fine, not to offend them.
No, it's fine.
So I think my approach would be to say, hey, I don't know a lot about beer,
Yeah.
but something tastes off here. Because I do think approaching it as like I'm a home brewer or I'm an all grain brewer, and not with you, but with some folks, they might be like,
Yeah. I feel that though. I don't know. I think my perspective, I figure out how to say it in a way that's not like aggressive towards like, hey, this tastes funky.
Even if you're a person off the street that's not a home brewer,
Uh-huh.
but you've tried a certain beer so many times that you know what it's supposed to taste like, and it's off.
But do you preface?
You gotta bring even to a restaurant or a bar, not just a brewery. You gotta bring to.
he says you got to bring it in.
That's yeah.
You got to bring it. Well, I will validate you, because the top comment on this Reddit thread says, 2 cents from a professional brewer here. Do tell us if you taste something off. We do as much quality control as we can, but we are only human. If we have a problem, we need to track it down and address it. So I need you to grow some guts.
I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I would say I'm not an aggressive person to be like, this tastes like Band-Aids. I'd be like, hey, something is a little off. You know, I might mention that this tastes like Band-Aids, whatever, but I'm not gonna like. It also depends on, I don't know. I think I would say something, but I would not be aggressive about it.
Let me ask you a question. You ever flip someone off while you're driving?
Man, I must have been real mad if I did. If I did, I don't remember doing it, because.
So I think that's the difference in personalities. Like I am happy to tell someone how I feel on the road.
I also deal with little kids all day, so my filter is very deep. It goes far. It goes a long ways before you really.
Well, you have his permission now to approach the tap and say,
I'll reference this live stream.
yeah, say
Somebody
look at my
timestamp.
YouTube channel. Somebody clip this and email it to him so he's got it.
So I have it on file.
All right, let's move on to.
This was a fun one. When you sent it, especially as someone who owns multiple taps, being able to label your taps is like key, and especially when you get in the middle of a keezer and you're like, you know, your line is 10 feet long and you're like trying to find the end of it. It's pretty brutal. So
I would have never thought of this.
You always number them.
So this post,
Yeah.
they're using colored zip ties. So one goes around the
post?
yeah. What is
Is it
that
the
called
post?
though?
No. What is that called?
Shaft? Shank. It
Shank,
goes,
yeah.
One goes around the shank, the other. Well, so this
That's-
is for a homebrew keg. So yeah, but one goes up near the disconnect. So you know which keg is connected to which shank on
Yeah.
your keezer.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do a next level thing though on here.
Oh.
Zip ties, kind of bad for the environment, made of plastic, pollute the earth.
Yes.
They make, for cord management, they make like a
Little Velcro. I've
yeah,
seen 'em,
cotton thing that's reusable.
Oh yeah.
So you could slip it through and do it that way, and that way you could reuse it every time. Whereas you might have to snip it if you're changing out lines and stuff. But anyway, it's super cool idea. I'm
Yeah.
going to implement that because I'm always digging around in my keezer, like what is connected. Partially because I have 10-foot
Yeah.
hose on every single one of my kegs.
I have a little bit of tape and then a number at the end of each one. That's how I do it, but I might be converting to.
We tape it on the wall and then we tape it on the end of the line.
Oh.
With like a
KI4.
Yeah. Okay, so 4 over here, 1 over here, or
that
4
makes
over
sense.
4. Yeah.
grab it, know where it is.
Yeah.
See, we should just hang out here more often. KI. Yeah, put in some volunteer hours. Clean tanks. KI4CLZ says r/prison hooch is the greatest sub for brewing on Reddit, bar none. Well, look forward to our last story.
For brewing in general,
That's what it
as
says
an
for
overall?
brewing on Reddit.
You must be finding some golden posts there. I mean, there's some interesting
I mean,
stuff.
there's
but-
golden posts on. All right, I think you're up next. You've got the next three.
All right, so this next one, you will find a link in the description of this.
We'll put a
at
link
some
in the
point,
description, yeah.
Because it's a video. BC has a clip of it, and he's gonna play it. I don't think it has audio, but
It doesn't. No.
So, what's this guy's name again? His
It's 5
channel?
Minute Brewery.
5 Minute Brewery. He brewed a 1 pint brew. He did like, it was a quarter gallon of water, and then the correct amount of grain, and then the correct amount of hops.
But
He
he's
just
got
did-
like all the disconnects and
like,
things,
yes.
so he can do it under like pressure.
Yep.
Like it's so ridiculous.
And, yeah, he did it, and he basically did it just to be able to pour a pint for himself. And so at the end of it, he just, I mean,
And it's a Marzen, so like
Yeah.
it's like it's.
That's usually takes a minute,
that's what YouTube does to you.
but not literally a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ridiculous. You did a video on
Yeah.
making the world's tiniest
When I
mead.
saw this, I immediately thought of a challenge. I didn't mean it for it to be a challenge at the time, but then it became one. I think 2 years ago, I bought this little bitty pot of honey. It was like maybe an ounce of honey,
Yeah.
or 2, or something like that. And I opened it up, poured a good part of it out, and just put some water and some yeast, and made this like not even shot-worthy amount of mead. And then all these people started to say like, "Oh, I'm gonna make it smaller." And so somebody got down to like, I can't remember how, like
Somebody on my Discord.
20 milliliters or something like
Somebody
that.
on my
for a
Discord
mead.
brewed a mead in their airlock.
Yeah.
So
That immediately reminded me of that whenever I saw this. That was just wild.
So some suggestions from the chat: biodegradable cable ties, which I didn't know were a thing. That's from Yeast and the Beast. Glenn Combs says that he uses colored masking tape.
Yeah. But then you have to have multiple colors of masking tape.
I mean, who doesn't? Anyway, check out 5 Minute Brewery. He's got like, I think it was like 450 subscribers. So clearly he needs more.
Yeah.
Go hit the subscribe button on that and comment on his most recent video. Tell him Homebrew Guys sent you.
Yeah. This next one, I haven't done a ton with wax on top of bottles, but recently, a couple months ago, I did bottle a bunch of stuff. I did the wax thing for super long-term aging, and this one is about putting a little bit of Scotch tape. What is it supposed to be?
Score tape.
Yeah, score tape. So score tape
I've
on
never
the
heard
top
of
of
that.
the bottle, and then you leave a little tab so that you can basically, like when you wax, you just pull the flap essentially.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to get the wax off, or
Yeah.
at least start the process.
Yeah. So you can
Because I've
peel that top.
I
bit
had
off.
to unwax a bottle recently, and it was atrociously annoying.
It's
You're
not
taking,
fun.
And you like over a trash can, you're like scraping. It's a little bit.
Hold on, you got to do that motion
Yeah,
again.
it's a little scrape.
It's like a Boy Scout
Yeah.
making a wooden duck.
So I definitely think I'll convert to this
Yeah.
because it is smart. I mean, it's an easy way to
Pretty
do
cool.
it. It makes me wonder. I guess you couldn't do it with like, if you were to put the what's it called on top of your wine bottles. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the
Oh,
term.
those
wrap.
heat shrink wraps.
Yeah, heat shrink wrap that has the tab. I don't think the tab is big enough to like pull. So it's too small.
I
So,
don't know. Well, this
but
is
is it big enough to where you could like, would you, like I'm thinking of the ones I've pulled. They're like,
here.
yeah,
Here, we got
yeah.
a visual
These are.
representation.
That's on our meat.
If you were to like wax this, would that would that stay down? That's what I mean. Though.
I
It's like-
mean, you wouldn't.
See, I'm a sensible human.
Somebody might.
If you already got that going.
No, I agree.
I just do this with ribs.
oh yeah.
So that post was from the Facebook group Mead Recipes, Techniques, and Tips on Facebook. The admin of that is our buddy Conrad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Conrad. Anyway, I don't use Facebook, but apparently that group is the best mead making Facebook group. So,
It's the least toxic. That's for sure.
and this is from a guy who runs his own Facebook mead group.
I used to. Those are the old days of me.
So it's not toxic then, or it is.
No,
It's toxic because you left.
Mine, no. Mine, I don't know what's going on in there.
Just
There's
boxing
something.
you in
There's
a problem here.
I got the mime thing going on.
All right.
I have the last one too. This one's interesting.
And it's from r/prison hooch.
It is the best mead or the best subreddit for homebrewing on the internet. This one, so a guy found, I guess, I don't know the story behind this completely, but he says, I found a full bucket of honey at an abandoned apartment complex, fully sealed, under a pile of clothes and old books. And a bucket of honey. And he's asking, should I use this? And
Well-
starting the conversation.
Let me.
It says fully sealed.
He says it's full of. He says it's fully sealed. He also, though,
Just add the yeast in the water, man.
Honey doesn't go bad though. That's the thing here is honey doesn't go
I've lost
bad.
the room at this point. He said it's fully sealed, but he also says it's a bucket full of honey, and that is not a bucket full of honey.
That's a fair amount of honey
That's
though.
a half a bucket.
Dude, that's a lot more honey than you're gonna find in a random other place.
Okay, show of hands, who would make a mead with the creepy haunted honey bucket?
Haunted.
He says it's haunted. Okay, so 60% of the room says that they would make a mead with the.
Serve that to human beings. Well, it's not a full bucket. You guys
There-
have seen full buckets.
There's debate over potential for botulism. I want to
I
know
don't
from the
know.
chat, would you brew with Prison Hooch's haunted honey bucket?
Any questions like that concerning human health?
So that's my thing, is we don't know what happened to this bucket of honey. We don't know if somebody's it was like a fetish thing.
Oh.
Like we don't know what's
Ugh.
touched the honey.
Gross.
Just because it's
I
sealed.
guess it's true. Who buys a bucket of honey without being a home brewer? That is.
I'm just saying, something weird happened to this bucket of honey, and I don't know if it's something that boiling would correct. Like, maybe you can make a bochet with it. I don't know. I think I've watched too many reruns of Breaking Bad lately. Like, I'm thinking about all the chemicals that they could stick in there that would, kill me 3 days later.
Yeah. I don't know.
Would you
man.
brew with it?
I don't.
4 out of 7 of the audience members said they would.
I think I would brew a small.
Is it? It's like half full.
But even if it was full, would
don't
you brew?
know.
If you found a full bucket of honey, would you brew with it? Yeah, there's still the potential. You could put something in it. It doesn't matter if it's full or half full.
Right. I worry about it when I buy these sketchy buckets, like where I'm sending a guy a check and a bucket of honey shows up. I don't know what's happened to this honey. Finding it in an abandoned apartment under some clothes and books.
It was pretty sketchy.
What were the books? Like, that might be a clue.
Kinstrams.
Yeah, it's just 80 copies of The Complete Mead Maker.
The castle around.
I don't know. Haunted honey, r/prison hooch. Somebody keep us updated on if that ever gets brewed with.
Yeah, if you're the person, let us know. We
Ay,
want to know.
Dios mío. Okay, you ready for this?
I'm ready for this next section.
I think this is going to be a real treat. So this segment's called the Brew Haha. Yeah. That elicited the reaction I was looking for. So what we're going to do, so we each have a YouTube channel that has patrons and members, right? There are folks who monetarily support our channels each month. These are the folks who support your channel. Shout out to them.
Shout out to these people.
I'm going to give a big shout out to
Who are you gonna pick?
Wildman3506
Gosh,
Dot.
I talk to him every day. Oh man, we're best friends.
Good friend of yours. And these are the folks who support my channel. I will give another shout out.
Oh,
if
you're going
I
the
can
pointing
point
trick.
at it.
Golly.
Whoop, whoop, to Conrad Wheeler again.
Oh.
But also, let's go over to the patrons. Sorry, I'm gonna get. Let's give a shout out to Grammar Antifa. Shout out to both of y'all. So we have members and patrons that support the channel.
Yes, we do.
And this week we asked them. We each gave them 5 ingredients, and we asked them to tell us what would those be the best ingredients to brew with. Like what style. So, for example, if I said almonds, what would be the best thing to make with almonds? Beer, mead, cider, wine.
My brain would go beer pretty quick,
Almond beer.
like a almond stout.
Almond stout. So, we crowdsourced this information.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here's the goal. I got a pen. We're gonna keep score.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm-
you're keeping score then.
Yeah, I'll keep score. I'm gonna give you my ingredients.
Okay.
You're gonna we'll go back and forth,
Okay.
and you tell me what you think
Your YouTube
My-
and patron people have said.
on Discord. I asked on the member and patron Discord what
Uh-huh.
they said the best thing to brew with that would be,
Okay.
and we'll see
And
who can get the
our
most. one.
options are beer, mead, wine, cider.
Yeah.
We're not talking spirits.
We're not
or
talking
anything
spirits.
Like
We're not talking
that. Okay.
sake. I don't know what else. Kill you.
That'd be a great tequila. I gotta say.
Okay.
Almond tequila.
Do you want to start or should I?
You start. You start.
Okay. Orange peel.
Orange. Oh, 100% people have said beer.
Orange peel. Orange peel beer.
People have said beer.
Mead.
Okay. I'm gonna disagree with
No,
that.
I have to tell you, I had to. Well, no, I won't spoil it.
I don't think.
Orange peel. You don't think mead? Have you
I
not
think it works
seen
well with mead.
those popular YouTube channels where they use orange peels for nutrients?
Oh, that's exciting. I think we should do orange peel like oil.
Orange-
Like you get
orange
enough
peel
orange
and
peel
tea.
oil and you just really squeeze it. It's got some oils in there, right? You could really.
What are you gonna like fry some chicken in it?
No, it's nutrient, man. Haven't you heard?
All right, what do you
Next
got?
big thing. All right, on my side, I'm gonna divert my order because it'll get too weird.
Okay.
Black peppercorn.
Beer.
My people said mead.
I'm just thinking like a saison. Black peppercorn.
No, yeah, no, I mean, but also, black peppercorn in this. It's not. That
That's
was not
true.
planned at all. This
I
worked
have
out really
not
well.
thought of that at all.
The black peppercorn was a pretty good choice here.
Riddle me this. Black peppercorn. Would you put that in a saison?
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm like, no.
Golden peppercorn, yes. Because they do that at Twisted Spike.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, Twisted Spike
Twisted
has
Spike.
peppercorn.
Twisted Spike.
What is this one?
Our other brewers.
It's
said
very.
no.
It's a great color.
This is a secret,
Oh,
but it's not going to be a secret. It's going to be a release.
It's a future.
it's not a secret.
So we can't
It's
talk.
just-
we can't.
Coming out, yeah. It's coming out like next week.
Okay, so we will taste without saying. We're really good at this.
We're
That's
gonna
what we
take a
do.
mead.
So this is special, and just being here at this brewery. This is actually my last weekend here.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So tomorrow's my last day.
Oh.
Oh.
This is
We'll drink to
a
that.
raspberry mead,
Okay.
Ooh.
and it is dangerously phenomenal.
Okay.
Okay.
Raspberry mead. This is a release coming out next week.
Smell, taste it. It's going to be bottled.
Oh yeah.
That is big
That's
raspberry.
big raspberry.
Straight raspberry up front.
I-
If you look at the legs on it, we don't.
Yeah.
Come
Come sip.
This is fresh off the tank,
Okay.
so we don't have the gravity yet. But if I look at the legs on it, it's going to be 13 to 15%.
Oh man. That's
That
got
is
some vanilla.
smooth.
Yeah,
That's got
all
some
the
deep
raspberry
vanilla.
you want. And there's also a cherry one coming.
That's good.
That's hella good. So I recently did raspberry wine in my Jack Keller series. This is much better than that. It wasn't bad, but the sweetness really brings
thing
that
with-
fruity flavor back.
The thing with mead though, in like tart fruit, is that you have honey to contrast the
That's good.
extreme tartness. The extreme
Audience
tart.
member took my empty. Yeah, he does. This guy doesn't drink either. No, that's hella good.
That's super good.
If you're watching from Oklahoma City, come down next week for this release. What day is it coming out, Dylan?
That I don't know yet.
It's a mystery. Stay tuned to the Elk Valley Brewing
Ooh.
Company Instagram account.
Nice.
Yeah, hit that follow. No, that's hella good. I think that might be the best meat I've tried from y'all so far.
Yeah.
Like that's a smooth.
Confident in that.
The one is the spice, but that one I haven't tried that one yet. So I don't even know yet.
It is. I mean, it's like a raspberry Italian ice.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, green tea.
Green tea.
So far we're at 0 to 0.
Yeah, not good so far.
Come on, green tea, man.
Not cider, not beer. Ugh. Green tea beer? Ugh. I can't imagine that being a good thing. I'm at wine or mead. I feel like people would say mead because it like works well, but I feel like it's also, I'm gonna go with it, mead.
Beer.
Beer?
I can tell you, there was great debate in my Discord channel about this.
Green tea beer? That doesn't.
I don't know, man.
I'm thinking like a Lipton iced green tea, and I'm like, that.
See, I'm thinking like matcha though.
Oh.
Like matcha could work.
Oh.
I think you're right. Like a Lipton green tea.
Oh yeah, in my brain I was thinking, I was like, put that with some like malt and some hops and. Oh.
I don't know, like a matcha blonde stout.
I got to see it at some point.
Okay. All right, what do you
Not
got?
going so well. I got to check one. Okay. Oh, hold on. Orange.
Orange?
Orange.
Mead?
I'm double checking one side because of my participation on this. They did it in a weird manner. The grand consensus on orange. More people voted for mead.
That's a point for me.
There you go.
All right, what do you got?
Oh, me? Wait, again?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, you're giving me one now.
I gave you one.
Oh, okay. Grapefruit juice. Maybe I've had too much meat tonight.
I don't know. I think a grapefruit like cider sounds real good to me. Like I could a little bit of sweetness.
They went with beer.
I don't know about that.
There was debate over grapefruit cider.
I don't know.
They said like a grapefruit IPA, which
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that
I mean,
IPA proves that you can get grapefruit without the grapefruit.
But I'm going cider. Cider. I'd make a grapefruit cider if I had the between beer or
Members
that.
and patrons, he disagrees with you. Hash it
Good
out
thing
in
you're
the
not my members or patrons.
hash it out in the chat. All right, what's up next?
Cilantro.
Cilantro's not good for anything, but I'm gonna go with wine.
Beer.
They're wrong.
Shandy.
No,
Oh,
cilantro.
shandy. Interesting.
Smoked cherries.
I might be the only one to have brewed with cilantro, though. I will say that is.
I had his cilantro brew and it was fine.
You got the soap.
It could have
side?
been worse.
Yeah, it was.
All
It
right.
was not noticeable. What was-
Smoked cherries.
Oh man, smoked cherry.
Smoked cherries. So it's smoke and cherries.
I could see that being really good in a mead. Give it like some barrel, like. I mean, I think there's a side where someone would say beer, and you give some maltiness and some high bright cherry with some smoky side. That would be like a barrel aged thing. But I'm going mead because I feel like that would be most bomb.
They went with beer.
Really?
There was a lot
Maybe
of
I'm thinking with what I would do rather than what your people would do. Maybe that's my
exactly.
problem.
So there was talk of how it could work in a mead,
Oh man, that sounds good.
but there was mention, I believe, of a stout or a porter
What
with
would you
smoked
do?
cherries. I would probably do a porter.
Oh, okay.
You know, not super dark,
Yeah.
just a little bit lighter than a stout. Do a porter, and then probably barrel age it.
Carlos, Texas Longhouse Mead has an interesting thing about cilantro.
Yeah, he says cilantro and citra hops almost go hand in hand.
I feel like I gotta try that.
Is
That
it the
seems
cat
interesting.
pee?
They're both good for compost.
Audience member says they're both good for the compost heap. All right, what do you got? We got two more, right?
I'm not doing so hot, but that's okay.
Well, we've only got 1 point on the board so
Banana.
far. Mead.
Hold on, again, my people.
I've got a banana mead side by side coming up for you soon. One was brewed with banana fruit. The other was brewed with banana peels.
It would be mead. Yep.
All right, that's 2 for me. That means I win. But let's let's play it out.
Yeah, what are we playing for? Am I
Bragging rights.
Am I giving you a beer because I'm on your tab?
I know. Vanilla Oreos.
Oh, if they don't say beer, then that's wild to me. They're gonna not say beer because they're gonna be trying to be tricky. It's beer though.
It was beer.
Yeah, like if people have done that a million times.
It was beer. I do think there was talk about it being in a cider.
Oh, no.
Yes,
Gosh.
vanilla Oreos in beer.
The world's least bought cider.
All right, are we done?
my last one?
You got one more?
Sorghum.
Oh, definitely beer.
Beer, yep. Would you try sorghum in a mead, though?
I would try sorghum in a mead. Have you had sorghum?
Uh-huh.
There's a
I
restaurant.
have some sorghum, like, syrup, whatever you call it.
Yeah, it's like molasses,
Yeah,
kind of.
that-
There's a restaurant up in Missouri that throws hot rolls at you. Does anyone know this restaurant?
What's it called?
What's it? Lambert's? Lambert's. It's called
Ah.
Lambert's. They throw hot rolls at you. They have sorghum for the table that you can put on your hot rolls. That's the first time I ever learned of it.
Interesting.
They also, I don't know if they still do, but they used to have a dish that comes with a cigar on the plate. And when we went for a high school trip, we were all like 16 in high school band.
You tried to order it.
No, a friend did order it, and they delivered the freaking cigar to the table.
Man.
Yeah, so unlit, but it was lit before the bus pulled out. So,
Yeah, I'm sure it's pocketed real fast. And
oh, high school. I don't want to go back there.
good thing you don't have to.
Thank God. Well, unless, I mean, you can become a teacher. Oklahoma's lacking for those right now. All right. This is your segment.
This is my side. This
is a game for everybody
You
in
can
the
play
audience.
at home too if you want and see how long you last.
But you're playing for a special prize,
BC's credit card.
which is right there.
Oh, we didn't talk about this. So
Whoever
Man.
wins this game gets a free pint.
big spender.
So Dylan will get a nice pint of water.
If you're a home brewer and you would like to participate for the free pint, feel free to stand on up because what you're gonna do is I'm gonna give you some prompts, and if the prompt relates to you, you will sit down. Okay.
So for those of you in the chat,
And they are theoretically, I'm starting easy with maybe some things that you have or have not done. I don't know.
fresh
depending on your
bill
level.
here.
Yeah, I see the rip.
For those of you in the chat, you can't win this wonderful $5 bill,
You
but
can stand up at home though.
you can throw a hand up emoji in the chat.
Yeah.
Jumping jacks. Work off these beer calories. God knows I'm going to. Okay, so everyone who wants to play, stand up.
If you would like to possibly win a free pint,
We need more than one person to stand up.
or $5 if you're not a drinker.
Or
in
yeah,
the room.
it's a $5 bill.
Yeah, you'll
you
get
can buy a
$5.
pint with it, or you can't.
Well, I mean,
It helps if you're a home
it helps
brewer
if you'll get out real fast if you're not a home brewer.
or a brewer in general,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I don't know. My wife is playing, and that feels a little unfair because some of these
I mean,
are
it's
like,
my $5.
I guess. Because some of these, she could be like, well, technically it's in the house, so.
If anyone wants to win $5, now's the time to stand up.
All right, we got 2 contenders and a couple
Yeah,
at
brewer,
home.
home brewer, anybody.
Hey,
Please stand up. Okay, we have our participants. So this is Garrett's version of Never Have I Ever.
yeah. It'll be, we'll see how long it lives.
to be here like week after week.
Ah,
So if this applies to you,
yep.
stay standing.
Yeah, I'll say, so the prompt is sit down if, and then there's a sentence.
Okay.
So sit down if you do not own a hydrometer at your house.
I like that you added at your, really? You don't own one of those?
She's playing the game right. I mean,
At my house, no, but here.
I guess your brew space. We'll call it brew space
Wherever you
for
brew.
the record here. Brew space.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, I mean, a lot of these stickers I put up on tanks, I put up.
It's
Yeah,
in your house. That's what I'm saying.
This was the side, yeah.
Lucy just needed another drink of beer to
Oh,
come to
I
the
don't know though.
conclusion.
This one might not work for you very well.
I'm gonna give you the $5.
Sit down if you have never brewed a beer. You've not brewed a beer. You've never brewed a beer. We already got a winner.
We got a
tried
winner.
Man, I got really. By the way, I got really deep.
That's a
with
free
these.
pint.
I got super deep. So
Let's do like 5 more for the chat.
okay. So if you're still standing in the chat,
In the chat.
Sandy, yeah.
Just in your living
I sure
room.
hope you're standing. That'd be great.
Even Faywood Mead has made a beer.
Faye's still standing?
She's
Okay.
still standing, yeah.
Sit down if you do not own an auto siphon. Do not own. I'm not
See,
going to be
the-
mean and say if you own one because that's rude. Because
Is there a difference between owning one and using one?
What do you mean?
I mean, there is a big difference between
I mean, no. I still have it.
one, but I use it all the time here.
I'm renting this auto siphon.
That's how they get shit out of the barrels.
Okay, I'll keep going. Sit down if you haven't made a cider before, or sizer, excuse me,
Sizer.
Sizer.
That is a
before.
mead.
Apple mead.
cider.
Apple cider mead, yep. Anyone still in? I gotta know. I stand.
People are still standing.
Oh man.
Give us
Wow.
like 2
Okay.
more.
I'll get a little bit more tough. Sit down if you've never brewed with Kveik. It's a yeast. It's a type of yeast, and it's
Kveik?
Kveik yeast is like it's
from Norway.
a farmhouse ale yeast that's like notably known for high temperature fermentation, and it's also just a monster. Sit down if you have. Oh, this one's kind of mean. I'm gonna do it though. If you've made a brew over 16%. If you've made
Sit down if you have.
If you've made something over 16%, sit down.
17.6.
Nice.
Very nice. Was it a dry or?
It was very
All
nice,
right.
actually.
Yep. All right. Well, hey,
If you're still
here's the
standing,
thing.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
You're a hell of a home brewer.
I got plenty more of those. We'll keep playing this game in the future.
We don't really do much here.
Yeah.
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 I do a ton with Kveik.
It is fast.
It's kinda
a
what-
fast fermenter.
A lot of what my channel's known for.
No,
Not
yeah.
currently. I decided to hype Mead Stampede tonight.
For next year.
Garrett, do you have any homebrewing predictions
Okay.
for
my
the next
prediction-
month?
It's a bold one because it could be extremely wrong. And I have no insider information on this, I must say, because I feel like some people will. This is my prediction. I have a prediction that a beer brewing channel with the first letter L will pop up in the next month.
Are you starting it?
No, this is no insider information.
Land-made Lears?
Lears.
A beer-making channel that begins with the letter L
We'll see if I'm wrong.
is going to start in the next month.
No one said it had to have more than one subscriber.
Levi Shantz, I see you in the chat. Levi,
Yeah.
it's up to you, buddy. Start a beer channel. Okay.
What's yours? What's your
I have
homebrew?
2 homebrewing predictions for
Okay.
the next month. And I guess it's not necessarily for the next month. One of these is like for the future.
Yep.
I believe that homebrewing online shops are going to continue merging, I use the term, into a great and unwieldy beast.
That's a very positive spin on I think what is happening.
So you want to talk about this for a minute? The monopolizing of the online homebrew space?
6 months ago, was it who bought? Was it Homebrew
Aust-
Ohio?
no, Austin Homebrew Supply
Yes, bought.
and Adventures in Homebrewing
Yes.
were both purchased by the parent company of Northern Brewer.
Yeah.
And they
So-
fired everyone,
Yep.
and all the distro is going out of Northern Brewer at this point.
Yeah. But there's other brewing world that we know about that I feel like talking about it will create controversy. That seems to be going in a direction that is similar to those two. So I feel like that is true. In online homebrewing, purchasing will be very weird.
I think what's going to happen is that parent company and others, there's one other very large online homebrewing company. I think they're going to continue buying up these online homebrew shops that have done really great with SEO,
Yep.
so that they can acquire those digital assets, acquire those lists, acquire the property,
Yep.
which is really the online space. It's not, it's not the storefront, it's not the warehouse, it's that online. And I think it's going to lead to prices going up. I think
Yeah.
it's going to lead to shipping times getting longer.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage folks to support their local homebrew shops as much as you can if you have one, and not buy online, because something really
It's a little sketchy for sure.
bad is happening in that
And
space.
part of it is, our homebrew shop, OKC homebrew shop, is a great example of people who listen to like what you need. And BC talked about it earlier with yeast. He walked in and he said, "Hey, I'm looking for these specific yeast." They don't know the need until you say it. And so if you walk in and say, I'm looking for this yeast, if they care, hopefully, they will go and call or ask or email to try and get that information for you. But I mean, part of the problem is people are just assuming that no one has anything or not asking for it. And we are like a on-demand world in that like, if it's not at my house in a week, then I'm out. So go and talk to your homebrew shop.
It makes buying decisions difficult too, because by and large, I don't want to support these like giant online conglomerates that are buying up mom and pop shops and shutting them down.
Right.
But sometimes to get stuff that I want to brew with, like those yeasts we talked about at the top of the show,
Yeah.
sometimes you have to like wrestle with the beast
Yeah.
to get what you want, because
Yeah.
like I said, our homebrew shop can't get it for another 3 months or
Yeah.
so.
It is tough. So I mean, I'm hopeful that it's not the case, because then prices will go up and the weirdness will continue. But
Yeah.
it does feel like something sketch is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my last prediction,
Oh,
I told you I had
you
two.
had two. I forgot you
I
had two.
had two. You're welcome to give another one. I think, Garrett, that there's going to be some wacky, new, innovative home brewing space gift, some kind of doohickey or gadget or something that is going to blow up the internet right before Christmas, right before the holiday season, and everybody's going to want it. It's a 1 pint brewing system. It's like a Mr. Coffee. You put the grains and
man.
hops in there, and a pint of beer comes out. Yes.
You have to walk away for 3 weeks.
Right.
I mean,
Oh, honey, did you hear that? My beer's done.
my singular beer.
I'm not sure. I think
It's a new product. 1 bottle brew.
Oh man.
1 bottle brews. Our audience has patented it already, so tough luck. I think something is going to happen, and you and I are going to both go, how can we get our hands on this so we can have that video before Christmas?
I sure hope to see it. I mean, that sounds fun. I hope that's true.
Right, right.
Right.
Yeah. That's the whole thing, is you got to get out in front. It's like an MLM. Like you want to be
Yeah.
at the top of the pyramid.
Maybe we'll be like, we'll spur someone to make an announcement. Maybe somebody's watching and just waiting, and they're like, I got to announce it now.
Well,
Otherwise,
if you've got the next great home brewing product, send it to P.O. Box 162, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 73101, and one of us will pick it up.
yeah.
It's right up the road here. All right, you have anything else
Unfortunately-
you want to?
My only other prediction is that there will be a vegan mead on the internet in this next week. That is
I hear that.
I heard around town that there's a vegan mead recipe floating somewhere. So something.
It's apparently a thing in California.
It is. Californians. But you can't make honey out of everything. I'll tell you that.
Adept Nonsense reminds us that some local homebrew shops do sell on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
So you could look for a shop that sells on Amazon. Just do know that if you find a local homebrew shop that sells on Amazon, you might Google them and see if you can find their website separate from Amazon, because Amazon charges like
yeah.
$1 a purchase
Yeah.
for sales there. So you can give them more money typically if you buy from their website. Our
Yeah.
homebrew shop sells online. Like you can fill a cart and they'll ship it to you.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't know that.
I've just never done it because I live here.
Yeah, because it's right up the road from my
Right
house.
up the road.
Let's see. Texas Longhouse Mead says that you should give out Sip and Savor for stocking stuffers. That's my Kickstarter.
Yep.
That got funded. That's available.
It
Actually,
is. Did you bring a deck?
I brought one as a gift for Elk Valley Brewing. This is for you guys. It's a Kickstarter project.
It's a drinking game and everything. You guys
vocabulary deck.
Yeah.
We're gonna start our game night on next Tuesday.
Oh,
You guys can
game
keep
night.
it at the bar.
There you go.
So if you want to play Sip and Savor, you're not convinced yet you should buy a deck, come down to Elk Valley for game night. Grab a
Come
couple
try
pints.
it out.
Check out the deck.
Yeah.
Let's see. Conrad says Sam's Club is selling 1 gallon
1 gallon what?
beer brewing kits. I got it. I'm picking up what you put
Oh.
down. Sam's Club.
Interesting. What kind of yeast do you think comes with a Sam's Club?
Almost definitely USO5.
You think that's a 5? Yeah. It is.
It's a solid yeast.
It did really well on the yeast test we did. It was pretty high up there.
Yeah, it can sit on the shelf forever, which
Yeah.
is why they sell it in those boxes.
Yeah.
You
And they
know-
sell it in 10-gram packets. So
The
you get
great
even
thing
more.
about those kits that Conrad's talking about is you can repurpose them for anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of I did a Mr. Beer video showing how to use it for you've seen that one for various different brews that aren't beer. But those
Right.
kits at Sam's, you could use them for mead, you could use them for wine.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question. Do you think they give you pre-measured half packets of the yeast instead of giving you a full packet?
Yeah, it's 3 grams. You determine that 3 grams is the right pitch rate for 1 gallon. You remember
Oh,
this?
yes. Yep. There was.
I took part in that video. I remember.
Now, am I going to follow that? No. I'm not going to pitch in a 5 gallon of 15 grams of yeast. No, I'm going to go 5. So. Yeah. I'll just put a lot of Go Firm in the front. We'll see what happens. It works.
There's Trent in the chat saying, "Did someone say vegan mead?" Yeah, we're
His
talking
phone
about
dinged
you.
when the word vegan was said. It was
Yeah,
like,
he's got a
internet.
Google notification set up.
a live stream said vegan.
Nice. Shout out to Ryu Krobu tuning in from
Yeah, where's he at?
Italy.
Oh. What time is it in Italy?
3:13 a.m.
Do you know that? Or
No.
You guess?
So Christopher Morrow says the nearest homebrewing shop to him is 2 hours away. What are your
That is a
recommendations for someone who's got a commute? Start your own homebrew shop?
No.
Buy in bulk?
Make a big list. I mean, I think that's one thing I've personally planned and done the long trip, buy lots of things before. Online is a nice source. I don't know. As things start to twist and you find that the evil homebrew corporation is doing one thing, maybe try to find a better source. I don't know.
Yeah, I would recommend calling and talking to them about shipping.
Yeah. maybe
There's
they
a
will.
chance that they might ship
They
to
might
you.
charge you $10 extra, but most homebrew stuff, depending on what you're buying, is not that expensive.
But if you're keeping that
Or
commerce
not that heavy, I should say.
within your state,
Yeah.
you're supporting your state, you're supporting the economy of that town,
Yeah.
you're not supporting the giant homebrewing eye of Sauron that's developing out there right now.
Buy all your homebrew supplies off Amazon.
Our audience is giving bad advice now. Hey, Ryu says it's 3:14 a.m.
I don't know, man. Where did you say he was at?
Italy.
I feel like he was just
Italy.
Italy time. I'm looking
I was
it up.
right.
It is. You were right. Dang. It's 3:15 now. That's
Boom.
impressive.
All right, do you have any closing thoughts, words of wisdom?
No, this has been a lot of fun. We're gonna do this again and
Next
this is-
month.
yeah,
if
next,
Dylan will have us.
Yes. If we haven't been kicked out, I don't know. We'll see after this. You'll find out. But
That's fair.
we were gonna kick you out before the game, but now that we have the game, we're gonna.
No, we've locked him in now.
Yeah, as long as you bring gifts every time, we'll bring gifts. We'll be back next month.
Yep.
Next month,
Live
this-
here
this
in Elk
exact-
Valley, where you can come down and
Yeah.
be part of this, and you might win $5.
Yeah. Or a pint. I mean, it depends on which camp you're on. You will win something of substantial.
We'll pay for your tank of gas to get down here.
I think I can fill my tank for $5.
Yeah.
You got many problems.
Your gallon of gas to get down here.
That,
I'm in a Prius. I don't think about it.
I mean, I will be back. This has been fun. We'll be back with more things. Part of this show is as you find stuff that you find. I mean, a lot of our world is talking about the internet. And if you find something, we're going to scour the internet, Reddit, Facebook, all the other places for things. But if you find something that is interesting, outlandish, fun, send it our way. We both have Instagrams. We both have Discords.
Right.
We will gladly, if you find a weird, we've talked a lot about our lovely friends over at the r/hooch. If you find a great
Prison
r/hooch, yeah, prison hooch, and you're like, hey, this guy made I don't know.
There was a
weird thing.
Kratom mead that happened on r/mead. I filtered that one out.
If you find something, send it our way, because we'll gladly talk about it.
It looked disgusting.
Who knows? Who knows what we'll find?
Yeah, so maybe one of us should start a Discord channel for this show.
Yeah.
So people can drop
figure
links
something
in
out.
there, and that way we can crowdsource some of this. It's been fun to put it all together.
Yeah.
It's been fun to scour the homebrewing internet.
There's a
See
lot
what's
of stuff
happening out
It's constantly busy, that's for sure. It's not a not lively place.
There was no like loss of content for this show this time around.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep an eye on one of our Discords. Somebody will put a channel up.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put it on yours.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Since
we'll
the
get it on
stream
my-
is on my channel, we should put the Discord on yours.
We can do that.
Yeah.
You can find
So
it
go there, find it. You've got Discord admins in the chat. One of them will create a channel for the Homebrew Guys.
We'll figure it out.
And you can get Homebrew Guys merch. I put it up on my merch shop.
Yep.
You should put the alternate design on yours, and then people can just like collect
Alternate
both.
design. Ooh,
Well, like the one is blue and
Oh,
green,
oh.
and the other's
I thought
like
you were making me create another one.
no,
I was
no,
like, that
like
felt
one
like
is
a-
orange and yellow.
Yeah.
So like to get
Okay.
both, you have to visit both
Ah,
shops.
That's cool. I like that. I like that.
I'm
That's
thinking
how we
with
do
my
it.
brain. Well, and thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. If you haven't yet, smash that like button.
Yeah.
Leave a comment.
And this will be for anyone, if you've made it through the podcast episode, I'm sure at this point, if you're watching the video, we're glad you're here. But there's also a podcast. If you are a super busy person, we're going to put this out as an audio only. It'll be Homebrew Guys. I don't know, Homebrew Guys podcast. We'll put it out there. It'll be.
He's in charge of the audio version.
So you'll be able to find it. So if you're too busy to watch the show, of course, you can watch it later on. It's still live, but you can listen to it. If you're listening to it now, thank you for listening. We'll be back with more. And we also appreciate your feedback, even if you're just an audio listener. You can still contact us and be part of the conversation.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm just.
the
says-
chat is going wild.
Ryu says, if Garrett doesn't trust that I'm Italian, I can always start listing cheeses. Let me know.
Parmesan, cheddar, Swiss,
Gruyere.
Gruyere. What's the really sticky cheese? I don't remember.
Vallis, one of my favorite cheeses. I had to learn to like it though. Like I had to ease into.
refuse to learn to like goat cheese. It's for the birds.
What's the one that goes on French onion soup? I hate that cheese.
Parmesan? Isn't that Parmesan?
No, it's not Parmesan.
It's mozzarella?
It's I hate that
Gruyere?
cheese. Forget that cheese, man.
Lucy
thing's
says it's Gruyere.
That thing's annoying. It doesn't come off of. Oh, that's terrible.
Lucy's literally
That's the
dying
worst
off
cheese.
camera.
Fight me. That's the worst cheese.
I don't know. I like all cheese. I mean,
There's some shit they ban on the subways.
said there's some shit they ban on the subways. I don't know. I love cheese. I cannot lie. Vallis Homan says, would you put acid in a mango Carolina Reaper mead?
Yeah, if it needed it.
If so, what acid and how much in
That's
a 6-gallon brew?
Arguably hard to say though. 'cause
Would
it
you
really
use
depends on-
tannins?
Oh, tannins.
It's a lot of questions.
Acid, you'd really have to taste. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
a citric would fit best. Tartaric malic, I don't know that are going to fit well. Citric's bright. Tannin, it really depends on what you got. Is it juicy? I know that pepper is going to have a little bit of heat, which can perceive as tannin, because then your mouth is burning. So I don't know how much you overload.
My guess would be that like malic or tartaric would be a good pairing.
I'm gonna with acid. As far as I don't know, I feel like you need something bright because isn't mango? It's
mango's pretty bright.
I guess in my experience, I don't have a lot of. That's true. I guess I'm talking from my experience of my my mango wine base I used. It was pretty low in acid. So I did use.
I remember I thought that was like pear or cider at first. So yeah, mango may be higher in malic acid. I don't know. I feel like malic or tartaric, probably tartaric then.
Yeah.
Seems to be where we're going. I do think it's going to need tannin probably. Can I make a plug for my bench trial video that just came out?
Yeah.
The bench trials would be a great way to determine very quickly if you need any of these things.
Yeah.
And so check out that video. It just came out yesterday on my channel. Will, Chef, he's in the chat, leads you through like a very simple and approachable way of doing bench trialing.
Yeah.
And you could do it with citric, tartaric, malic, phosphoric, and try 2 or 3 different kinds of tannin and dial in what you think it needs. You may do all that and determine it doesn't need anything.
Yeah. Part of it's just experimentation. It's hard to say. You know, I would love to say, add an ounce, or not an ounce, a gram of this and a gram of that and you'll be good, but it's so taste oriented. You can't say for sure.
Yep.
Without leading someone astray.
Zaxi says I probably have to watch that one a couple more times. It is
thick.
It's a dense subject matter.
It's great.
That's
it's
why
really
I
good,
wasn't
though.
equipped to lead the conversation because it was well over my head.
It is great. I mean, it's good, and it is one that you might have to watch one time and just kind of glean a little bit of information and then kind of go back. But it is very valuable and takes you a step forward.
I told Will I watched it like 4 or 5 times and I was still like struggling to because I was editing it, right? Like it's a lot of information, but I think that I used those like chapter tags. And there's one that's tagged the most important part.
Yeah.
And it's the part where it shows the formula on the screen.
Yeah. There are some important math there that is it's super helpful for all brewing associated things. So it's good to know.
Okay. Well, until next month, which we'll work with Elk Valley tonight and figure out a date for next month.
Yep. You'll know ahead of time, don't worry.
Happy brewing.
Happy brewing. I'm all out of drinks.
Stay safe.
I gotta refill.
You are.
Shout out to Elk Valley. I'm gonna go refill at
tonight.
Elk Valley. Thank you for hosting us and letting us take over your back room.
It was a good time. So until next time, happy brewing. Stay safe. Stay well. Smash that like button. I don't know if and join our communities. He's on Discord. I'm on Discord. Follow us on Instagram. Join his Facebook group, former Facebook group. And subscribe to both channels. And if you're in Oklahoma City, like our live studio audience, there it is. Come down and join us next month for the Homebrew Guys. Sayonara.
They got cheese plates, by the way.
They
got cheese plates. Every table has a cheese plate. So
yeah,
we'll see you next
full
month.
Charcuterie.
It's mostly
Gruyere.